Hi guys, this is Rohan here. So making my first YouTube video, so pardon me for mistakes. So just trying something new. So the purpose of this video is just to make a general comment or my opinion. These are my personal opinions, of course, for if somebody is in the market currently in this is November of 2025 to buy a new iPhone, should he or she consider the 17 Pro and the 17 Pro Max, or the 16 Pro and the 16 Pro Max. Keep in mind, I'm just talking about the pros in this videos, the Pro series of the phones. And the way I'll structure it is what the phones are and what are some of the major differences and my opinions on these differences, and finally at the very end my verdict. So let's start with what the phones are. Starting with the 17 Pros and the Pro Max. Of course, these are the new latest and greatest phones launched by Apple in September of this year in 2025 in their Apple event. And finally, there is a design change. So now the 17 series of phones, they look different. Be it the 17s, the 17 Air, which is a completely new lineup of phone, and then the 17 Pro and the Pro Maxes. They look completely different from the 16 Pro and Pro Maxes with the different camera setup at the back and the new colors and everything. So this is what the phones are. This is, of course, the new latest and greatest. Of course, it has a lot of innovations within it, with the center stage, with the new cameras, with ceramic shield. But when it is compared with the last year's offering, is it a step up? Of course, when we are looking at pure numbers, be it the chipset, be it the graphics performance, be it the battery performance, of course there is a difference. Of course the phones are better. Of course, on paper, the 17 Pro and the Pro Max is a much superior phone compared to the 16 Pro and the 16 Pro Max, because there is a difference of 1 year of technological innovation. But keep in mind, this difference is on paper, be it on Geekbench and all these different processor scores. Definitely the 17 Pro and Pro Max will whitewash the 16 Pro and Pro Max. But and of course the 17 Pro and Pro Max are using the A19 chip, while the 16 Pro and Pro Max are using the A18 chip, which is last year's chipset. So now, will but when we consider the general public, the general usage, the majority of the people, how they use the phone, a phone for a phone, for using it to make calls, texting, uh, social media, browsing the internet, checking the emails, um, streaming videos, occasional gaming, listening to music, podcasts, you name it. In real world usage, will you actually see these differences? I doubt it. I doubt you'll see much of a difference between the 16 Pro series and the 17 Pro series phones. You put them side by side, maybe you'll be able to make up some differences, but in real world usage, I doubt you'll be able to see any difference between the two. The battery of the 17 Pro series of phones is better. The 17 Pro Max is boasting at 39 hours of battery video playback time, while the 16 Pro Max is boasting at 33 hours as per Apple's official website. Again, the general public. Keep in mind, all of my opinions are based on the general usage. I am not talking about the niche or the enthusiast users who are the power users. I'm just talking about the general people. Usually, people plug in the phones in the evening or at night when they are back home from the work or from the day. And in this, both these phones will last you the day. I don't see much of a difference in during the day. So even in terms of battery, I don't see you'll see a night and day difference between the two. Now, finally, the last thing which is different between the two phones is, of course, the cameras. The 17 Pro series of phones have the new center stage cameras. They have the new 48 megapixel cameras with the different lenses, which is better than the 16 Pro series of phones. But even the 16 Pro series of phones, keep in mind, also have 48 megapixel camera. It may not have all three, but it does have a 48 megapixel camera. But again, I'll ask you a question. Does the general public, do you take every photo at 48 megapixels? Are you taking every single photo at 48 megapixels where you need to see every single detail? I don't think so. And if you are, then great, good for you. At 48, at this, so again, the differences are minute, are almost non noticeable. Guys, in the whole video, it might appear that I'm leaning more towards the 16 Pro and might be appearing biased. But the main difference is between this is the price differential. The 16 Pro series of phones are probably 80 to 90% similar to the 17 Pro and Pro Max, and you will get these phones here in Dubai probably 1,000 dirhams cheaper, probably 25 to 30% cheaper, or even higher if you get a good deal than the 17 Pro series of phones. You'll save almost 1,000 to 1,200 dirhams. We are talking about $300 to $350, and this is a good amount of money. And you can use that money for something else. This is your personal choice. But again, if there is someone who is looking at getting the latest and the greatest, this is completely your personal choice. It's great. It's your personal choice and your personal opinion. I mean, I bought my 15 Pro Max when it was new because that was my personal choice. But again, if there's somebody who does not care much about getting the latest and the greatest, in my opinion, if they can make do with the 16 Pro series of phones compared to the 17 Pro series of phones, I would definitely recommend going for the 16 series of phones. The biggest con, I will say, in getting the 16 Pro series of phones is actually getting them. You will not find the 16 Pro series of phones at Apple official stores, at the Apple stores. Not every major retailer would be having these, and if they do, stocks will be very limited. Your choices will be very limited on the capacities, on the colors. Not the major e-commerce retailers, Amazon or Noon or the others, they may not have it from the reputable or from the major stores. So you might have to hunt for smaller shops, and when you hunt for smaller shops, you do run the risk of sometimes getting counterfeits, or maybe not getting the right product, or not maybe getting a used phone or not a proper phone with coverage. So the buyer will have to do their due diligence. I'm not saying that the phones are not available. The phones are definitely available. They are. If somebody searches, they will definitely get them. Maybe even from the major retailers with the Apple support, with the Apple warranty, everything is in place. The 16 Pros, even right now, in your capacity, in the capacity you want, in the color you want, everything. But yeah, you'll have to go a little extra mile for that. But if somebody does not want to get into that headache, so I completely understand. Definitely go for the 17 Pro series of phones. It's a no headache phone. You will be easily be covered for the next few years for updates, which even the 16 Pro, but obviously you'll get more updates on the 17 Pro series. So at the end of the day, If you can take the extra headache of searching for a good deal through some of the smaller shops or some of the smaller retailers, and if you don't mind getting a older generation phone, which in my opinion you'll not see any difference, definitely go for the 16 Pro series of phones compared to the 17th. That's my take on this. All right, see you later for the next video.